Hello and welcome back to my World of Tanks replays. What I have for you tonight is something a little bit special. It's a couple of matches I played platooned up with the Mighty Jingles. He might show this one on his channel, but we didn't have that many games, and so it's unlikely that he'll use much of the footage. But basically, when I play with Jingles, we talk to each other over Skype, and so we've always got an open mic with each other, so I don't have to bother about trying to press Q, because we found in the past that it's very difficult to talk to each other by pressing Q and steer the tank at the same time. I can't. He can do it, but I can't do it, so it's easier to have an open Skype line. And so that's what we do. Now he's in his M6 and I'm in my KV-1S. These are two tier 6 heavy tanks and they complement each other really quite well. I've got the power, but it takes me a long time to reload. He can just shoot and do a fair amount of damage. And there it is on chat. Someone's identified him straight away. Bohemian Eagle. And yep, that's Jingles. And someone else is about to point out, no, not Rhapsody. Yeah, no, Rhapsody. Here we go. And although I fired there, that was actually Jingles making that hit. My shot bounced. So at the moment, I'm 0 for 1. And of course, I've got the big old time to reload. And all this time, I'm looking bad in front of Jingles. Now I want to be careful here because I want to back him up, but I also know that he's going to need to back up and I don't want to block him. There's a lot of issues with people driving directly behind him and he's got nowhere to run when he needs to. So I want to give him space. Now I know he's in cover here, but my gun's now reloaded, so it's time for me to push forward and actually contribute something to this match, because at the moment I've done precious little. Our artillery are on fire though, they're just hitting them right, left and Chelsea. They're doing a great job. To Jingles' disgust, because obviously he hates artillery. But here we go. Didn't miss the second time, but now it's time for me to back off and while I reload and let some other people have a pop. Of course, they're starting to back off. They're feeling that they've lost this flank. And there's a hell of a lot of heavy tanks here. Their artillery is going to take full advantage of the fact that all these tanks are bunched together. There's one. There's two. And now their artillery has seen Jingles. So Jingles hates artillery, and this is why. Watch who their artillery shoot at all the time. But Jingles ain't having that. Now it's been said that Jingles can't kill artillery, but there's one of them dead. Just as I'm zooming in on him, there's two of them dead. And there it is. Artillery number 3. Jingles has killed 3 artillery in one game. There's an award for that. I can't remember what it's called. And I was absolutely annoyed by that. 50 more I'd have had him. And he's gone before I can finish him. Now Jingles has just told me over Skype I've tracked him and I've left him so he's an easy kill for you.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So there we go, I've got a kill. And this guy will be dead before I can reload. So I'm like, right, do we cap now? Or there's 2 of them left. Do we cap? And he's like, no, there's 2 of them left, we'll go after them. And then one of them dies. And Jingles is about to take a guess as to where he thinks the last one is. Turns out he's quite wrong. And we realise that our team's going to cap long before we could get anywhere near them. So head for the cap circle, see if we can get a few cap points. Yeah, there it is. C1 he reckons they're in. But the bloke's about to appear and run for our cap circle. while I understand he's attempting to win, he couldn't win that way. I would have just hidden and waited out the count. You've lost, there's no point writing off your tank. They now know where you are, and he's been taken out. And that was the end of the first game that we played. It was an utter rout. We just routed them, went straight through them, and won that quite convincingly. And so, if you look at my individual score, you'll see that I did alright. It's double because it was my first win of the day in the KV-1S. But yeah, it's alright. Hit 3 targets, destroyed 1. To be fair, the one that I hit was set up for me by Jingles. He tracked the guy and then took him down to really low health. If you look at the team score, you can see that he did way better than I did. But our VK did amazingly. Great game for them. An alright game for me. Obviously, Jingles getting medals galore there. And if you look at that, I only fired 4 shots. The first one we know missed. The other 3 hit, the other 3 penetrated. 822 damage. 3 enemies damaged, 1 destroyed. As I said, not a great game, but it was alright, and it's always great to play with the Mighty Jingles. And so the second match we played is an assault map on the Siegfried line. We're capturing, and for this game we decided to switch it up a little bit.
Time to roll out.
I'm now in my M6, and Jingles is taking his KV-1S out for a spin. So we've got the basic plan. We're going to cross the line here and attack the town somewhere in the middle-ish. See what comes at us. If we were on the other side of the map, we'd have headed for the gate in the middle, because attacking the ridge on the other side is suicide. And it's just me and a whole bunch of KV-1s in this game. It's a tier 7 match this time, so it could be a lot worse. I rush a shot there and miss, which is irritating. If I take my time there, good hit there. And the thing is, they're sticking their heads out and seeing 3 KV-1Ss, so they're concentrating their fire on them and leaving me alone, allowing me to do things like this. So I've got a great hit in. But if you watch Jingles here, he's just taken a nasty hit on the front. And that sapped his health. Unfortunately, I bounced that one. Good shot into the side of him, but he's going to fire back at me. But then someone else gets him. If they got him a fraction of a second earlier, I wouldn't have taken that hit. Now, my gut wants to go into that pile of tanks and start shooting. But I know I'm here backing up Jingles. And so I do my job. And what I should have done was got myself to the front, because both of those tanks are on low health and I'm not. So but as it happens, Jingles gets a shot in. Now I think, right, time to take up the front, take any flak, allowing him to derp whatever's.
That one bounced.
And I bounce off his tracks. It's just irritating. And now I'm going to pause it here, because what's happened is both myself and Jingles are about to make a mistake. It's going to cost Jingles his life. If you look to the right of where Jingles is, you'll see there's a KV-1S there. And the thing is, we've not been paying attention to our mini-maps. And this is a mistake because Jingles pops around this corner and the KV-1S just unloads into the side of him. The problem is I haven't been paying attention to my mini-map either, and if you'll look to the left of me there's an M6 there, and I think that's what shot him. So I start targeting that guy. Still not noticing. There it is. Jingles has been taken out, and I think this M6 has done it. This is an utter cock-up because as now I'm side on to a KV-1S. Bounce a shot on him. I'm like, what the hell? And Jingles like, why the hell aren't you shooting him? I realise what's happened, and I rush this shot and bounce it. And I've now got a KV-1S, but I can reload quicker than him still. I ain't giving him a second chance, but the fact is I'm now on a low bunch of health because I was a moron and didn't pay attention to my mini-map. Didn't pay attention to what was going on, and I cocked up, and Jingles died because of it. But I was very apologetic over chat on that, but there isn't a lot I could do about it. Now I contemplate going around this way to attack this KV-1S, but the fact is everyone's going that way. If I go around here I might be able to flank him. There's another KV-1S in front of me. He's just unloaded his gun and he's died, but that means this KV-1S now has an empty gun. So, and I've brewed him up, and there's only one tank left who's just been taken out, and that's the match for us. And that's it for games I played with the Mighty Jingles. If you look here, you'll see that I did alright for XP in that game. It's not doubled. This wasn't my first victory with this tank in the game. Alright on the amount of credits. Spotted one tank, destroyed two, damaged three. Not much more I can say about that. If you look at the team score, I'm up there. Not the highest score, but by no means the lowest. Not a great game for Jingles. He just couldn't get the luck in that game. It was like everything was against him. And to be honest with you, for both of us, the games just went downhill from there. We played about another 5 or 6 games, and every one of them was utter gash. It was just such a bad night. Anyway, looking at my detailed report, 10 shots fired, 7 direct hits, 5 penetrations, over 1,000 damage just. Was hit 3 times. Potential damage received was enough to destroy. Well, no, it was not enough to destroy me, but it would have been a close run thing. Either way, an alright match for me, and as I said, always fun to play with the Mighty Jingles. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for me, because he will literally tell me exactly what to do all the way through it, and I always get better games when I play with him. I hope you've enjoyed watching these, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.